This week is the final week of the Adopt Me Christmas update, and all 3 minigames are finally out. I know you all are looking for the ways to squeeze out that last bit of gingerbread, so I've compiled a list of things to help you get good at them. This video will teach you all the things you need in order to maximize your grinding time throughout the rest of this update. Hello everyone, my name is Medic Frog, and if you're new here, I do a little bit of everything on this channel. Today, I'm going to help you all get the most gingerbread you can while playing the minigames, as well as a few other little tips to help you out while you grind. For more tips on how to get rich during this update, check out my other video on how to get rich during the Christmas update in the cards and link in the description down below. Without further ado, let's get started. So first off, we have Bah Humbug. I would argue this game is medium difficulty, but it's probably the easiest to max out your gingerbread. The game is a little laggy still, even with all the bug fixes, so it requires a lot of patience. What I have found works best in this game though is aiming for the larger clumps of the humbugs to begin with, and then I usually click or tap a lot more than needed, but you don't necessarily need to spam clip to make it work, as long as you're clicking and tapping repeatedly right as you make your jump towards them to make sure you don't start trying to click too late. Sometimes when you click too late, you run out of time and you fall before you finish beating them. I also recommend when you jump to reach them, try to jump towards the top of them. This helps particularly for the ones towards the end where there's only single ones rather than the clumps. When you are actively hitting a humbug, it keeps you in the air, so if you intend to jump above them, you are more likely to finish them off before you fall to the ground again. This way you don't have to keep jumping just to get 1 or 2 humbugs, which increases your efficiency and gets you more combos. Remember, the more humbugs you get, the more gingerbread you get. You probably won't quite max out if you play on a private server, so playing on a public one where lots of people are willing to play will let you max out easier so that you can get 5,000 every time. So the next game I'm going to talk about is Sleigh Balls. It is significantly harder than Bah Humbug and probably one of the hardest games in the update in my opinion, and it's based somewhat on chance. It's based on who you play against, and because people have like different tactics as well, so you can't exactly just follow the same outline every time. But before we even get to the actual game tactics, the first tip I recommend is going ahead and turning up your graphics in the settings. If your device can handle it, go to the Roblox menu, then settings, then scroll down to the graphics quality. I don't currently have mine all the way up, but if you have a device that it doesn't already show like decent graphics even when you have it down halfway, make sure you turn it up, because not only does it make like the gameplay experience better in general, but I have found that it makes it easier to see overall. It clears everything up and extends your render distance, which is essentially just how far you can see in the game. It makes it easier to find the presence and incoming opponents who are trying to steal off of you. But enough about the graphics. Here's what you can do to get better at the game. First, make sure you have a boost. It makes it easier when someone's on your tail trying to steal it, and in general just increases your efficiency. And then there are 2 tactics, like 2 main tactics I guess, that you can do. The one I personally prefer is to circle the center area for presents and grab them, then use a boost to make it back to base in time. Sometimes there will be an enemy trying to circle your base so they can steal presents off of you, and I just try to aim higher because they aren't as likely to notice. Every time I've ever been below an enemy, they're usually able to swoop in and steal it. And if you have enough people on your team, because the second tactic is obviously stealing, you can always have someone A, circling the center area to like steal presents off of people initially, and B, have someone circling the base, kind of like I was talking about before. I haven't had as much luck with this tactic, but I have seen people be very successful doing it, and some people do a combination of both, and that seems to work very well too. Alright, so the final minigame I'm going to talk about is Starry Bounce. This game is a little silly, but it's also like the most straightforward. If you've ever played that game where you don't want a balloon to touch the ground, that's essentially all it is. In the show Bluey, they call it Keepy Uppy, so I'm sure that rings a bell to most of you. The easiest thing to do is run around touching all the stars that start out on the ground, and then once you have a few in the air, to jump up and down repeatedly to try and hit them. Sort of like Mario. If you have more people jumping up and down in your game, you may start running around for a moment to keep stars in the air. I tried this game out of curiosity on a private server because I felt like I wasn't getting as much on a public. And if there's any game that you should probably play on public as this one, I got more stars playing on public because there were more people to help me out because I could steal the gold stars. Generally, the only game that may be beneficial to play by yourself is Sleigh Ball, and even the public servers proved to be better for mini games anyway because it's easier to max out your gingerbread and get yarn beanies, which is what you need to get the snowball pug. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of as far as what you can do to get good at the mini games. As I mentioned in the other video, make sure you're trading bucks for gingerbread and ice skating every day, and if you can think of anything else, feel free to leave a comment down below. But yeah, with that, that's all I have for you today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as I mentioned earlier, make sure to check out my other video on how to go registering the update so that you can squeeze out the most gingerbread during this last week before the update leaves. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. I hope you all have a happy rest of your holidays, and good luck grinding. Bye everyone!